We hear a lot about the value of a college degree, but it feels like in the tech world, that conversation is shifting. Employers, especially in networking, seem to be looking for something else, something more specific on a resume.
That's exactly right. And that something else is often a certification like CompTIA Network Plus. For a lot of roles, employers now prioritize this kind of recognized certification over a traditional degree. It's a signal that you have specific, validated technical skills, not just general academic knowledge.
Let's dive into the N10-009 version of CompTIA Network Plus. It's essentially the industry's de facto standard for proving you can design, manage, and troubleshoot enterprise networks. What really sets it apart is its vendor-neutral approach covering everything from Cisco to Juniper, and the 2026 update now includes heavy hitters like hybrid cloud and software-defined networking.
Exactly. And that vendor neutral part is the secret sauce. In 2026, nobody uses just one brand of hardware anymore. I mean, it's a huge competitive advantage. Vendor-specific certs might teach you how to drive a Ferrari, but Network Plus teaches you how the internal combustion engine actually works so you can drive anything on the road. If you only know one ecosystem, you're a specialist with a shelf life. If you know the fundamentals through Network Plus, you're an architect who's future-proofed.
It's clearly the universal key for the IT world, but having the key is one thing. Actually opening the door requires passing a pretty intense exam. So, what does the gauntlet actually look like?
Well, to get certified, you're looking at a 90-minute exam with up to 80 questions. It's a mix of multiple choice and these performance-based questions, or PBQs, where you're dropped into live simulations. You need a score of 720 out of 900 to pass, and it'll set you back about $330.
Interesting. So, it's not just a memory test.
Not at all. And don't let those multiple choice questions fool you. The PBQs are where people usually trip up. It's not enough to know the recipe. The exam puts you in a virtual kitchen and asks you to cook the meal while the timer is ticking. You can't just memorize definitions. You actually have to know how to drag and drop components into a working network or click on a hotspot in a diagram to find a fault. It's testing your muscle memory, not just your book smarts.
It sounds like they've designed it specifically to weed out paper tigers, people who have the certificate but can't actually fix a router when it goes down.
Spot on. The aha moment here is that the passing score of 720 is actually quite high for an entry to mid-level cert. It's CompTIA's way of telling employers, if this person passed, they didn't just get lucky, they actually know how to keep your business online. The exam places its highest weight on network implementations, proving you can actually build and configure things.
So it's a rigorous stress test for your skills. But once you have those three letters, NET plus, on your resume, what does it actually do for your paycheck and your career path?
This is where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about the ROI. Network Plus is a gateway to roles like network administrator or cloud specialist. But perhaps most importantly, it's a DoD 8570 requirement. If you want a job in government or defense contracting that requires a security clearance, this certification is often non-negotiable.
Got it. So in some fields, it's not even a nice to have, it's a mandatory ticket to play.
That's the golden ticket aspect of it. I've seen people double their salary just by jumping from a general help desk role to a junior network admin position once they get this cert. In the federal and defense world, Network Plus isn't an extra, it's your license to operate. It tells an employer that they don't have to spend 6 months training you on how an IP address works. You're ready to contribute on Monday morning.
It's a powerful lever for anyone looking to scale the IT ladder. So if we were to boil it all down for someone listening, what are the absolute key takeaways here?
You bet. First, think of Network Plus as the essential foundation in the CompTIA trifecta, bridging the gap between basic hardware knowledge from A plus and the advanced skills in Security plus. Second, its vendor-neutral advantage is huge. It teaches you principles that work anywhere, not just on one brand's equipment. Third, be ready for the PBQ challenge. The exam demands real, hands-on skills, not just memorization. And finally, especially for certain careers, it's a federal mandate. For DoD and government IT roles, it's a strict requirement. It's a serious investment of time and money, but the return in salary and career advancement is almost immediate.